Hello. Good morning. It is day 3. So I was going to be coming to you from my sewing room this morning because I was going to have a sewing room today. Sewing day today. A sewing room day. Either works. Yeah, so we had a lovely night last night. We went to see Wicked for good. And it was brilliant. It was just brilliant. I really enjoyed it. I know that some people are saying, oh, it's not as good as the first one. I enjoyed them both equally. It was great. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, so I was going to go through Christmas plans, which I still plan to do, but it's going to be a little bit later in the day because our boiler has sprung a little leak. And so I'm waiting in for a plumber. Now, he did say he was going to be here now, so yeah, hopefully he won't be too long, and then I will come and see you once my boiler is not leaking water. So just as I finished filming that, the plumber arrived. He was very prompt, so thank you very much for that. And he is currently downstairs mending my boiler. Luckily he had all the parts on the van, so I'm very pleased about that. Apparently my boiler is getting to the point where it might need replacing, but we have it serviced every year, and basically we missed a service. I don't quite know what happened. I think Simon thought I'd done it and I thought Simon done it and we missed a year. So one of the parts that, kind of needs regularly replacing didn't get replaced, and that's why it was leaking. So it's not terrible, it's just something that needs doing. So yeah, I'm kicking myself a little bit because now it's a repair job rather than a servicing. So it's going to cost a bit of doolah, but that is the way that it is. So I'm wearing my lovely Freya jumper that I made quite a few years ago. And what I do is I started this last year and done it again this year, is I just based on these little iron-on labels, and then when it's not December anymore, I take them off. And so last night's little job was just to tack this off. I haven't tack this off back on again. I haven't done the greatest of jobs, but you get the drift. I've got my little bit of mistletoe on because I'm feeling festive. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a funny one today. Not quite as planned as I thought it was going to be, but hey ho, it's Vlogmas and these things happen. A couple of things I wanted to say was thank you so much for everyone that is choosing to watch my Vlogmas. It means the absolute world to me. I know myself, there's so many to watch. I mean, I'm trying desperately to catch up with as many people as possible. And I am kind of like putting them on in the background, and I've had them on when I'm getting ready and kind of like watching a lot more YouTube than I normally do. So the fact that you come and you watch, and if you take the time to comment as well, I'm just blown away. So thank you so much. That's really kind of you. And yeah, it all helps. So I've got my mug, my egg mug, that was bought for me by the lovely Mandy Make It So, and she bought this for me when she came over and stayed recently, because we did a little it was Sam's B&B before we went to the retreat. So yeah, and I'm really enjoying it because it's such a big mug of tea. Oh, and it's delicious. So yeah, now yesterday when I chatted to you, I said that I'd been to Lots Bazaar, which is a little crafty shop that I craft for. And my friend Nikki volunteers there on a Tuesday. I used to volunteer on a Tuesday. She volunteers on a Tuesday now, which is nice. So I thought while I was going past, I'd pop in and see if they had any little Christmassy treats. And they had a shelf renter that does crochet. Now, as you know, I love crochet, but I can't do it myself. So I really value these things. And I picked myself up a few little crochet Christmas decorations. So the first one that I picked myself up was this little piece of mistletoe, which I think will look really lovely on my mantelpiece. Yeah, and all handmade by a local lady that I happen to know. So, you know, you can't get any more shop local than that, can you? She also makes these really cute Christmas tree decorations. Now, when I first saw this, I thought this was like a stick-on, but no, it is actually all hand embroidered. She's done that little Christmas. Oh, it's just beautiful. I mean, the work that's gone into that, I think, is amazing. And then the bobble hat, 10 points if you can guess why I chose that one. And then these little baubles with the stars on. How gorgeous are those? And then a little mince pie, which I just think is great. And you know, you need to find your local craft shop, folks. You need to find your local craft shop and you need to go and support it, because all of these that are in all of these crochet, the whole thing cost me £13. I mean, yeah, what can you get for £13 these days? And yeah, I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. And I know that this lady, basically, she crochets these. This is her, and knits a few of them. And this is her kind of peace time, her mindfulness time. And yeah, I just think it's lovely. So I picked those up. And then the lovely Nikki, she has a shelf. Now, she sews like I do. And you could say, well, Sam, you could make all of those things. And yes, I probably could make these things, but I like to support other crafters. So, and other crafters use different fabrics than I have. Other crafters have different ideas than I do. And I just like to support other crafters. Now, this one, I definitely could make, and I have made several times. And this is the little wine bottle bag. But I went to find one of these the other day to give as a gift, and all of the ones that I made last year, and I think I made 30 last year, have all gone. So, and I need one quite desperately. So I bought one of these from Nikki, but it has also given me the reminder that I need to make some more. But I did really like this fabric. And then I have bought some cards. Now, this I really wanted to show you. So she uses leftover sari silk for the bows, and then she does this little patchwork. Now I do a similar card to this, but it's all free motioned. But I do really like these ones as well. And I'm going to do a free motion card for you in one of my Vlogmases coming up soon. So I thought it'd be nice to kind of show the differences and show different ways that you can make Christmas cards. So I bought one of those. And then I won't show you all of the handmade cards that I bought, because I am going to give them away to people that I know watch my vlog. So yeah, but again, I know I make cards, but I like to kind of share the love around. I like to have some cards that I've made and some cards that I've bought from other makers. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, so that's what I picked up yesterday. I had a lovely little walk. I had a lovely little chat with my friend Mishi as well. She called me while I was on my walk. Well, I called her and she called me back while I was on walk, and we chatted, and that was nice. I've had quite a few cheeky orders this morning and yesterday. So once I've finished with my tea and the plumber, I will be doing those orders. I have also sold out. In fact, I sold out last night, but I had one left. So I put one more on the website this morning of my face wipe kits. So this afternoon, I'll be cutting more face wipe kits so I can put more of those on the website. And then hopefully, because this is what you're here for, folks, I will talk to you about my dressmaking Christmas plans, one of which is sitting behind me. So the first one that I want to get done are the Fran pyjamas. Can you see? They're just behind me there. So I've been making those, and I will take you through the making process of those and what I've got left to do. So the other thing that I want to talk to you about, I've had to move my lovely friend over here to show you this. Now, the dress in front is a very old, a very elderly, ready-to-wear dress. I bought it from New Look quite a few years ago. In fact, I was going through pictures and I think it might be 10 years ago, maybe a bit longer than that. Simon thinks it might be a bit longer than that. And it's just a very basic sequin sparkly dress. And I really loved it. I used to wear it a lot over the Christmas period. I found it really easy, you know, just over your head, really, really simple. So what I did is I took it all kind of inside out, turned it all inside out and looked really closely at the construction. And basically it is a t-shirt dress with some lovely diamond darts in the back, and a little bit of shaping at the side and a little bit of shaping on the shoulder. So I thought I can make that. So I haven't made it. What I've done is I've cut it all out. So I bought this gorgeous sequins of events fabric from the lovely Adele and Bex from Fabric Obsession. And as you can see, close up, it is here. And I just laid my ready to wear dress out flat and I popped pattern paper on underneath and kind of drew around it roughly first, and then I added all of the shaping. I then put my bodice block on top of it to make sure that, you know, everything was covered up and everything was going to be catered for. Yeah, and then added the extra on the back piece for the diamond darts. And then, yeah, and then cut it all out. And this is what I've got. I've kind of draped it loosely on my friend here. Now, anything that fits snug on my mannequin will fit fine on me. My mannequin is a tiny bit bigger than me. So, yeah. I probably need to resize my mannequin, but I'd love a Mimi Quinn's mannequin, but I don't I don't have that kind of disposable income at the moment. But yeah, you know, you use what you've got. So that's what I've done. And then I'm hoping to baste all of that together, try it on, check that it all fits, and baste in the diamond darts and check that I'm happy with the shaping. And then, yeah, so I'm going to make this for a meal out, and I've got a meal out on Monday. So I've got a few days to get that finished, and I don't think it will take me too long. Now, as you can see at the moment, there's just raw edges on the neck and raw edges on the sleeves and raw edges on the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the selvage. This is why I've kept all of this. The selvage edge to bind the neckline and to bind the sleeves. And if I've got enough, I will also use it to bind the bottom. If I haven't got enough, I shall just use some regular fabric to bind the bottom, because I think that that will probably be okay. But yeah, yeah, just a bit of a, you know, quick and easy party dress. It is short sleeves, so I might need to think about something that I'm wearing with it, but I've got lots of sparkly tops that I could wear underneath it, because it's not going to be tight fitting. So if I wanted to go in that direction, then I could. But yeah, so I'm going to be taking you through my process of sewing that, which is exciting. So yeah, so from New Look to a new look. See what I did there? So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that, because it was just, I had 1.5 meters of this lovely sequins fabric that I bought from the girls when I went to Adele's social. And yeah, and I was just gonna try and see if I could make some kind of like party top. And then when I was talking to the lovely Rachel, the French Seams, I kind of like said, oh, well, maybe I'd get like a South Bank or something out of it. And then that made me think about what else I could get out of it. And then I thought, well, this is a similar size to a South Bank, and I love this, and I know it works in this sequin fabric. So let's give it a go. So watch this space. I'm hoping to really crack on with that today. So hopefully you will see that progressing today. The other project that I've been working really hard on is my Fran pyjamas. Now, I did take this cut and ready to the sewing retreat, but I just didn't get around to it. I mean, if I'm totally honest with you, I took too many things for the retreat. I was never going to get it all finished. And I bought this back exactly as it was, still in the project bag. And in fact, this is what I was holding when I fell down the stairs. So I was like, right, I'm going to get you done. But yeah, so I bought this lovely fabric from Pennies online, and it just gives me all of the Christmas vibes. It's got I don't know whether you can see on camera, but it's got a little gold line through it, but and this lovely kind of Christmassy tartan, and then it's all burritoed, the burrito method with the yoke, and then it's got this pleated black. I've put a made to sparkle label in there because, you know, it was made to sparkle. I have changed the construction a little bit. The instructions tells you to leave the sides so you can have a split in the side. I've had to shorten it, and total honesty, I couldn't be bothered to change the pattern, so I've just removed it entirely. Some days you just got to do what you got to do. So yeah, so I've done that. So all I've got to do now is hem that up and then put the buttons and the buttonholes, and then the top is pretty much done. The one thing, it tells you to put this little button loop in, and I kind of wish that I hadn't bothered putting this button loop in because I don't really think I'll ever use it. But, you know, I did, in some ways I did what the instructions tell me, and in others I just ignored them. So there we go. And then here are the bottoms. I love these pajama bottoms. In fact, they've just gone to the top of my list now. If ever I need to make a pair of pajama bottoms, I'm going to make the Fran bottoms because they fit me beautifully, they feel beautiful, they're nice and wide. I love the way that the top gives you that kind of paper bag finish. The elastic is nice and snug, and the waistband went in like an absolute dream. I love the pockets. So instead of, you know, on some pajamas you get those elephant ear pockets, which I really don't like. These are anchored in to the waistband, which makes them super comfortable. You know, when you put your phone in your pocket, you don't lose your trousers, or your phone doesn't disappear to, you know, to the back and beyond. Yeah, just fantastic, and I really love these. I popped a little button moon. It's not button moon official, but for me it is. Labelling with just the star on the back. Again, why not? And yeah, so those of it. So basically all I've got to do is hem the jacket, put the buttons and the buttonholes on, and then my Christmas pajamas are done. And as I said, or maybe I didn't say, they are the Fran pyjamas by Closet Core. Now, the reason I chose that one was originally me and Catherine and Rachel and a couple of others were going to do a collab for the Carolyn pyjamas, because a lot of people are making the Carolyn pyjamas. And I looked at the Carolyn pattern, and I've loved everyone that I've seen wearing them. I've loved them, but they're not very me. They're just a little bit girly. A little bit, you know, kind of posh jammies, and I'm not a posh jammy kind of girl. I'm more of a, you know, wear your granddad's old pajamas kind of girl. So, and the Fran pajamas, to me, they still look great and they still look really stylish, but they just make, yeah, they're just more me, more comfy. So yeah, so that's why I went for those. So yeah, so I'm gonna finish my tea. I've been chatting for ages. I hope this video isn't 500 hours long. I'm going to finish my tea. I'm going to go and check what the plumber's doing. And then hopefully I'm going to make a start. So I don't know whether I'm going to start on my sparkly dress first or whether I'm going to finish my Fran pyjamas first. We will see. So just getting on with my Fran pyjamas, and actually I had a few more things to do than I thought I had to do. I thought I'd done more bits. So I hadn't sewn the facing down, so I did that bit, and then I've sewn the hem. And I've marked where the buttonholes need to be, but I need to go downstairs to the studio to get my buttonhole foot. This is the thing with going between two sewing rooms. I am hoping that I'm going to get my full set of machines downstairs, and then what I'll do is I'll try and see if I can get like the full set of feet as well and have them in separate, so that I can have everything that I need up here and then a set of everything downstairs. But yeah, that's not happened as yet. But yeah, the other thing that I forgot that I hadn't done is the cuffs. So originally you make it with a separate cuff piece that you sew on, and I did sew it on. I don't know whether you can see here. I did sew it on to this bit, but when I tried it on, oh my goodness, the sleeve was so long. Joe was with me when I put it on over the top of my jumper, and I just like, and it was ridiculous. And actually when I cut the whole thing off, to be honest, this cuff was almost but not quite. So what I've done is I've recut the cuffs, and literally this is the scraps of the scraps that I had left, because I had hardly any of this fabric left. But I've recut some cuffs. I've got kind of just, you know, sew them together, and then I'm just going to put that on the bottom of the arms. So I've just got like an extra inch once it's kind of sewn on and put on together. So yeah, so I'll need to go down and get my buttonhole foot, put the buttonholes on, sew on the cuffs, and then I may sew on the buttons, because I may sew on the buttons while I'll take the opportunity to watch a little bit of Vlogmas while I'm doing that. So it's 11:30. I have finished the top, apart from I haven't sewn the buttons on, but I have marked with pins exactly where they need to go. But I finished everything else, and I've tried it on, and it's all fitting. I just kind of tried it on quickly because I've still got the plumber downstairs. I didn't want to kind of try it on and set up the tripod and film and stuff. So what I'll try and do is, if I manage to, in the time that I have left to edit the video, I'll pop a picture of me wearing it either in at the end or somewhere in here so you can see. But what I'm going to do now is I'm not going to sew the buttons on now. I'm going to leave them because I am not up to date with I'm a Celebrity, and Simon's doesn't watch it, so I tend to watch that during my lunch hour. So I'm going to sew my buttons on while I'm watching that and eating my lunch. Yeah, because then that feels like if I have a bit of an extended lunch, I'm doing something for the good. I mean, I'm telling myself that. But yeah, so I'm going to pop those to one side like that, and then I'm going to get on with basting the, I don't know what we're going to call it really, the sequenced dress. Yeah, so I've got my trusty book out. So if you come to any of my social sparkles, you'll know about this because I wang on about this all the time. Fabric Savvy by Sandra Benitza. Is that how you say her name? Not quite sure. And this book is brilliant. So I have gone to this sequins page, and it tells me everything that I need to know about sewing with sequins. So it tells me how to press it. It basically says don't. It tells me how to seam finish. It says finger press open and then hand whip them together, which is what I thought I would do anyway. It says top stitching, don't. It tells you to hem using facings, which I'm planning on doing. It tells you actually a really good tip. It says if you're trying to avoid the sequins in the seam, to use a zipper foot, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. it tells you what stitch length to use, it tells you what needles to use, it tells you about interfacing thread and all of that. It's just absolutely amazing. So I've had a good look at that, so that's going to give me an idea before I start sewing. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to roughly baste. I'm still going to use I'm not going to use too long stitch, but a longer stitch, and baste it all together just to check, because I don't even know whether this is going to fit me. So yeah, wish me luck. Oh, sorry if you're a bit wonky, or I'm a bit wonky, or something's a bit wonky. Right, it's 12:30 and the plumber is still here, and every single component of my boiler is on my kitchen side at the moment. So, not quite sure what's gonna... Yeah, I'm getting hungry as well, and I want to go in the kitchen and get something to eat, but I also want to leave him to it. So, I have just cracked on. I have basted it all together, so it is looking a little bit like a dress. And, oh, 1 second. So, if I just put this one and this one, it's pretty much the same size. It's almost exactly the same actually, apart from this one has got a little bit more give in the fabric, which is probably good because this one fit me very nicely 10 years ago. So the fact that this one's got a little bit more give in it is probably good for me. But hey ho. So yeah, so I have very quickly popped it on, as I explained to you before. You might get footage later. And yeah, and it fits. So all I need to do now is think about how I'm going to bind the neckline, how I'm going to bind the arms and the hem, and yeah, I do need to pull it in with those darts at the back. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all of the binding first, and then I'm going to wait for my daughter to come over so she can pinch me in. So yeah, so this will be finished over the weekend and be finished on Sunday when my daughter can come and pinch me in, as it were, unless I can find someone else that can help me before then. Yeah, so this one's just going to go back on my friend's the mannequin, and be left for, but as I said, every Wednesday when I come in during Vlogmas, every Wednesday I'll update you on my Christmas dressmaking. But yeah, this one for now is done because I've done what I wanted to do today. So I'm gonna go and sew my buttons on my pajamas, and I may come back, I may not, but yeah, maybe see you later. So I've given up because it is now way past lunchtime and I am starving, and baby Sparkles is starving, but we can't get anywhere near the kitchen. So I'm just nipping up to our local sandwich shop, going to go and grab us a couple of sandwiches, and we'll have a little lounge picnic so that we can have something to eat. And yeah, I'm not quite sure how much more sewing I'm going to get done, but I am really hoping that I'm going to be able to fill my belly. Right, so I've just been to the sandwich shop. It's a lovely little place. It's called Sabins in Leamington, and it's not very far away, and it's a nice little retro feel place. And I've just got baby Sparkles a mozzarella and pesto wrap, and I've got myself a roast pork and roasted vegetable wrap with extra gravy because I am starving, Marvin. So I'm going to go back, see if I can perhaps make myself a cup of tea in the studio, and then have some lunch. My boiler is fixed. Yay! So it's quite late in the afternoon now, so I'm going to call it a day because I need to get this edited and up. And if I get this up for 6 p.m, which was my plan for my Vlogmases, if I get this up at 6 p.m. today, I'm going to need a round of applause because it's going to be very tight. But hey ho, it is what it is. I've got to edit it and it's quite a long video, but we'll see. So my Frans are finished. I've sewn on the little star buttons. I'm not going to do you a twirl, but what I will promise to do is that you will see them tomorrow. I will put them on tomorrow morning with my cup of tea and I'll do a little Thursday twirly around for you to see them. Now I'm going to put my advent calendars in at the end, but I've realised that I filmed my Holly's haberdashery, which is the fabric, and I filmed my labels one, but I forgot to film Leah's, and because I just forgot to open day number 3. Now Emma, I will try and get some video of this later tonight. I did not realise that it was glow in the dark, so I'm going to try and see if I can get it to glow in the dark for you. See what I can do. Oh my goodness, this one does not want to open. This window. I'm trying to open the wrong side. What am I doing? I cannot open door number 3. This is really good, isn't it? What number is that then? Oh, I think I'm opening the wrong side. I'm very tired. It's been a long day. So yeah, I tried to open the wrong side. Number 3. And I have got some little Haribo bears, the gold bears. I think I had gold bears yesterday as well, but I'm not complaining. That is not complaining. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow. I've got some exciting things for you tomorrow. Vlogmas day 4. Don't forget to sparkle.